quite a different set of priorities on the heroes on Sky Temple. The Vikings we were talking about but didn't make an appearance, obviously not a choice here, and Illidan is extremely powerful here, and Miracle decides they don't want to deal with that.
So does Miracle, Ballistix ban the Zeratul at this point in time? And if so, if they don't, does Miracle pick it up? I don't think we've seen Miracle one time first pick Zeratul.
No, that seemed to be a MVP Black thing mostly, is the first pick Zeratul.
A lot of the teams have let that kind of stuff go through, but this is Zeratul's best map, debatably. Like, you can predict a lot of the rotations, and so I think that's a lot of fear. Or do you go with the standard Vala? Or, I don't know, a lot of things have changed through this tournament. The Vala is the first thing that comes to my mind to deny it from Ballistix, but also Tyrael is something I'm just not comfortable giving up, I think.
With the Tassadar off the table by Ballistix, I feel like you can give away that Vala and not really get punished in the draft.
Agree.
You can afford to first pick Tyrael here if that's what you're looking for. I think Tyrael has shown time and time again he is just one of the most powerful heroes.
Nope.
Miracle,
They're taking it back.
Yeah, showing the Zeratul first pick.
Does that respond with, I think it's 100% a Tyrael now as a pseudo response to the Zeratul. And with the Tassadar off, he's one of the pseudo supports in the game that you really kind of need and is so beneficial. I think a Tyrael is going to be a must-have. And do you go with, we've seen some teams respond with the Brightwing because she needs that kind of off supporting. It counters the Zeratul. It's a global-ish map. I don't think I like it that much, but I can see them going that route.
I could see them picking Brightwing here, especially because of Swoy's preference for that hero, but it doesn't seem like a necessity at this phase in the draft. We've seen a lot of solo healer Brightwings really fail to actually make any impact in the matches, and if they pick up Tyrael, pick up a different hero other than Brightwing, Miracle, they don't have a Tassadar or a Tyrael to pair with that Brightwing to get maximum effect.
Yeah, I agree.
So it's almost like if you're Ballistix and you don't pick Brightwing, it's still not really an option for Miracle, or if it is, it's dramatically weakened.
Or you're solely banking on the fact that the Zeratul Brightwing initiation is going to be able to confirm those kills. I agree. I like letting it through, especially considering the ban there on the side of Ballistix and removing the Tassadar. But then, where do you go with it?
Yeah, what's your pick then?
Is it I think it's I still want to say, I would let the Vala through. Do you go with a Mouth?
Ooh.
Do you go with a Li Ming? The Li Ming Zeratul duo? A Thrall.
Very interesting. That is a much higher prioritization than we're used to here. Obviously, Thrall picking up a lot of steam at this event with the switch to Earthquake. Now, Tyrael does an excellent job of protecting Thrall. You haven't shown a weak gankable hero yet on the side of Ballistix, so Zeratul's targets are limited. And now if Miracle commits to a gank with Brightwing Zeratul plan this early, Ballistix can draft around it and essentially pick no targets. Whereas if Miracle doesn't go for that, then they can pick backline squishies freely.
The Falstad lock in here for Miracle, meaning Sniper is going to be on one of his favorite heroes, but I don't know how I feel about that. I don't think that I like that pick compared to some of the other options. Like, Falstad is still a great hero, but that it limits their range DPS options, I think, in a lot of ways, and it already is going to be crippling, I think, some of the other parts of their drafts as we get to their last two picks. I think they're going to realize a lot of resources are removed that they may be wanting with the prioritization of that Falstad.
It seems to me like they're banking on Ballistix not wanting to pick up another warrior so they can't actually warrior choke Miracle out in those last two slots. That's what it looks like to me. So Miracle has picked the Falstad, which doesn't really do anything to affect Ballistix's draft because Ballistix has so many range heroes to choose from. Tychus, Vala, both still on the table. They're obviously not going to ban one of those themselves. By banning out Johanna, Ballistix is kind of showing that we might be warrior choking.
Yeah.
And that has to make Miracle concerned, because they haven't picked one yet. Ballistix has two more picks. If Ballistix goes for something like a Muradin here that Miracle showed off in their Garden of Terror game before, if they go for the Muradin Tyrael composition, then suddenly they have an insane frontline with a lot of dive and frontline potential, but Miracle is resigned to solo tank Stitches, or they have to go off meta with like Arthas or
I love the
Sonya.
choke. The question is, like, what else? When you have the Thrall, is that enough? I like the idea of taking the Muradin. They go with the Li Ming as well. This is, I was surprised that the Falstad wasn't a Li Ming instead on the side of Miracle. So I really like this choice. Just the duo, and it's one of her better maps too, because they're going to be standing on the shrines. The win harder strategy, even with the Malfurion, the lock in with the roots after the orb. There was a lot of synergy by taking that over the false set, and that's what I was talking about when it comes to the back half DPS available for them. So Li Ming is picked up. I agree. I think Murden is a very reasonable response, but instead moving towards the Brightwing.
This makes me a little concerned. The Johanna ban is so much less effective when you basically allow Miracle their choice of which warrior they want anyway. So I'm not sure what the point was.
It's their most common second ban across the board. Just even looking at their drafts from the past, before this tournament, they absolutely love removing that hero as an option. And maybe that they think that just the gap down to the Murden without a follow-up burst is enough really they feel that's a choke.
Well, it definitely left Miracle with only a few options here, and they can look for more range damage here, potentially.
I think it has to be ranged.
I'm thinking maybe something like a hybrid, like it's a Zarya where it's kind of bruisery but provides shields, but they'll go for the Tychus.
Yeah, I don't feel comfortable with that DPS here as the follow-up for Miracle. They do have a large amount of CC and threat towards the front line. I just think between Tyrael and Thrall, it is going to be really hard for Miracle to be successful in these fights if Zeratul isn't playing out of his mind. And now Ballistix, their last pick, still, because the hammer is off the table here. I don't like, goodness, picking another squishy into the Zeratul?
Yeah, I really don't
that risked
like
a lot, right? It's one of the situations where she does win harder very effectively on this map, because she only increases like almost exponentially the value of every one of those shrine phases. Like you can get to the second shrine phase and be 3/4 deep, all because you hit that 9-10 spike with the Sylve, and you lose on all fronts pretty much on the side of Miracle. But that is, again, a risk that I maybe wouldn't be willing to take when it comes to the draft. I don't think that a lot of these picks that come out of these Korean teams aren't really ever ones that I go, that's wrong or not good. They always have pretty well thought out and rounded comps. It just comes down to, was that a risk necessary a lot of the times?
To me, the risk of running the Sylve into the Zeratul, maybe it's worth it here for the payoff if you're Ballistix, because you feel that if you come out to a strong 2-0 lead in the set, like if you get a little ahead in this game, suddenly you snowball the game, and you definitely could, then maybe it puts Miracle way off balance and they can't recover, because they're not the most experienced team. They haven't been to that many finals.
Yeah, absolutely. Not only just finals, just being one of their very first international tournaments. There are a lot of news here for MVP.Miracle, not only with their success, but just everything about it. So I very much agree with you. Either way, we do have game number 2 on Sky Temple between Ballistix and MVP.Miracle. So let's get to it.
This is the battleground that I love watching Ballistix on the most. They are so good at their rotations here. Let's see what they have planned for us this time with Sylvanas instead of their usual Sergeant Hammer smart counterband there. SCSC, Zhonghan, Noblesse, Nachochin, and Swoy with the Li Ming, Thrall, Tyrael, Sylvanas, and Brightwing picks.
And their opponents with another Shando Malfurion here. It's Darvish. Reset on Zeratul. He's known to be the best Zeratul in Korea. Crazy moving on Tychus. Sniper on that Falstead, his most successful hero. And Tist gets his Murden, and he's shown us so much already this tournament. I feel like Miracle got a little bit of everything they wanted, and I think this is going to be very telling. If they can't win with this draft, I don't think they can win a game. And it's very, very scary, that sort of thought. Let's see if they can make this happen.
Yeah, if I had to name a perfectly balanced draft, it would be Miracle. In fact, I don't think this draft loses to a single thing in the game. And even if you could craft any other 5 heroes against them, you would not say this is a draft loss, because you've got it all. You've got healing, you've got blow-up potential, sustained damage, burst, and map control.
Yeah. I was going to say you've even really got AD and AP in the damage dealing department. Hold that thought. We're going to see a gank attempt here onto Swoy, and he will get body blocked. He should go down. Down he goes. But I was going to say, you know, you have AP and AD, but it's actually going to be attack damage. Falstad Sniper is going to build into that marksman talent. So
yeah, I think when Falstad goes for the mage build, he does maybe like 70% of spell damage and 30% auto. Here it's a bit more split down the middle. Maybe, well, right now he has no damage because he's dead. But
I think he was trying to bait a rotation, but they didn't have the watchtower, and it was a slow rotation up. I think they wanted to try to punish this, but it did not work. Reset still comes over here and is going to do a little bit of a dance with Noblesse to allow Darvish to clear with that Moonfire. He doesn't have Moonburn, so it's a bit frustrating, but does clear that up. But anyways, on with your thought as we see the dead Falstad.
Well, you know, it's a bit more split down the middle, which I think is just fine. I think he's going to be doing a lot of split pushing, which is why he actually doesn't see a lot of value in a quest that buffs his Q damage whenever he hits a hero, because he's just going to be hitting minions. I think that's why he's going for this talent. You can still go for Boomerang at 7. There's no actual Gathering Storm Boomerang synergy, and I actually would like that. It doesn't mean you have to go Secret Weapon, which, by the way, I don't think would work out all that well against Ballistix's comp. Boomerang should be better here.
You're definitely going to have a lot of trouble having consistent damage during that small window with a composition like this one that they're up against, so I would agree with that as well. We'll see if he decides to choose it. He goes for a static shield as well on 4. As we see, Temple's traded half and half here with the slightest EXP lead on the side of Ballistix with that early pressure in the top lane. As we see, that is kind of somewhat counteracted here by Miracle's push. Yeah, and this game is pretty even.
I think the way you counter Ballistix here is to focus on their siege camp timing. They try to do a little bit of both. You can either put huge pressure on top lane or stop the siege camp. Ballistix actually manages to get away with getting the siege as 2, and they always roam down as 4. Look at that. Noblesse is even giving up mid XP just for this 4-man bottom push that they do every single game on Sky Temple. And I thought Miracle was going to pressure top. I think they should have, to be honest. 3 to 4, 5 people even maybe in the top lane would kind of counteract that push.
They're going to counter gank here though. Reset comes in with Test. They're going to kill Noblesse. It works out perfectly here. The split against the trait, no damage done. I suppose they value their bot healing well more than the top damage that Swoy is getting right now as to why they didn't push top. Also, this is the boss lane, and they're going to be able to get their Siege Giants right after, which will time a little bit better.
Well, I think they had 3 options, and they chose the second option where you go for 5-man to stop the 4-man, which gives you just the odds, a very high likelihood of killing someone if you don't mess up your execution. And what that leads into is the Siege Camp when Ballistix doesn't have any anymore. But what I feel like is a weaker part here for Miracle is that they're not 4-man pushing with it themselves. They're playing it a little bit more straight up, putting someone in mid lane, 2 people even, and that's why they haven't even killed the second tower here. I truly believe that they would have kill potential if they stood there with more. Nice ganker in the middle though. Brightwing might save Jonga though.
Oh, the
counterattack!
Nicely done. Swoy with the save. Sniper comes in here. They're actually going to commit to Jungle to try to make it 1-1, but the heals are too much. Or are they? Crazy Man comes in. Does not get the kill.
Crazy moving. Actually, I think he could have had the kill if he was a bit more ham. All the cooldowns by Ballistix were already used, and so he could have been a bit more forward. The grenade was used early instead of as a finisher.
Okay, they're going to come for another gank here. This is a roaming composition we're seeing here from Miracle. Not the way it has to be played, but the way they certainly want to play it.
The tempo is available. Murden stands on the point. Tist getting the first laser charges.
Reset's coming down here. This control of this vision on the other side line side blockers is important, but they lose it. Tist is going to go to that Murden jump point if he needs to.
Reset moving in on Swoy, getting about 60% life now on Brightwing.
Yeah, zoning him out of healing range, and they're just going to target down Swoy. SC going toe-to-toe with Sniper here, just trying to keep him out of healing range.
They're bullying Swoy here.
This top Merc camp is getting a lot of value. That's something that was actually, we didn't really talk about too much, but it's timed out perfectly here with the Shrine because of the rotation down. Will they get the kill here? It took a long time, and in fact they will. Sniper escapes here. Will Tist as well. He misses the Stormbolt. Noblesse gets the kill.
The Stormbolt, oh, they know Zeratul still there. Nice Calamity finish there by SCSC. A number of Stormbolt misses here. It is definitely a bit harder to hit those than the power slide on ETC, and that's kind of why I think Murden, despite his popularity, his win rate isn't that high in this tournament. He's sitting at around 35% win rate.
Are they really going to boss here? This is aggressive.
Wow.
And with how aggressive Miracle's been all game long, if they sniffed it out, you can bet they would contest it. But it looks like they don't realize with the Siege Giants down there, it looks like Tist is going to rotate down to check, but they're just going to trade boss for bruisers because they can't know. They don't know. Tist checks, but it's so late. All he finds out is, oh my god, we did not rotate quick enough. We did not realize. Sniper's going to go ahead and push this top lane. And they weren't going to be able to contest with 10, which would have made contesting almost impossible. But it would have perhaps pushed Ballistix off the boss. I mean, Sanctification is going to make this a huge issue, as well as Earthquake. But now 10 is reached for Miracle. They're going to lose a keep wall and perhaps more bot, though.
Well, Miracle's deliberately ignoring the boss for now to try and mitigate damage on the fort, but they're split actually on how to deal with this. Sylvanas' pressure is so high, they were thinking of going for the boss, and now they're coming back. A little bit of hesitation here for Miracle, and Ballistix happily and gratefully makes use of it as Brightwing is de-pushing the top and continue to pressure mid. Okay, bottom wall has been opened.
Yeah, the keep wall is open. Sniper did go back there a little bit faster than I thought he would, so it is just going to be the keep wall. I thought he was going to even get keep damage there, but he does rotate down.
Reset is setting up the flank.
Yeah.
Reset is setting up the flank.
Okay, comes in, just drops off some damage. Doesn't void as there are 4 clumped there, which means no one can really get isolated away. Sniper wasn't in position for a gust either.
Yes, and I think crucially, the main combo here is Void Prison into Twilight Dream. But Ballistix is moving so fast and so safely, and this is how they play every time they're against Illidan the Hunt or Zeratul. They do not split without a safety card. They don't gamble on their positioning. Look at Brightwing. He's playing so safe, even though there's no one there, just because you don't know where everyone is.
Yeah. Well, they're about to find out as Reset shows himself here, jumps in on Noblesse, and Swoi with the teleport in means they actually could try to turn on this. Li Ming rotates down, hits the combo, and Reset goes for the Disintegrate. He has to void to get out. Beautiful plays here on the retreat.
The Earthquake clips Zeratul. He doesn't have Bolt of the Storm available. The
gust though to save him. He takes the tower hit, but he will escape. A beautiful plays on both sides.
Oh man, that was so good. The Earthquake max range lockdown with the slows. Zeratul gets slowed down. Mighty Gust has to be used. That's a win for Ballistix, even though they don't get a kill.
Yeah, much better cooldown trades there. Disintegrate doesn't even have a cooldown. Earthquake a low cooldown, and Void Prison pretty long.
Oh, I like this trap. I like this trap. They're going for Li Ming. She almost instantly gets blown up into Wailing Arrow.
This is what Ballistix is known for, is just their synergy in team fights.
The snap call, Wailing Arrow instantly shooting that trigger happy.
And there's another reset. Crazy Moving will be able to dash away, but with Sylvanas, this could be a keep. They're actually going to get the wall at least. Meanwhile, at the top, Valsad is getting the towers. Okay, watch this again.
Deadly Ming, but you get the shields, the Sanctification, and the Wailing Arrow. Everyone is having their fingers over the buttons that need to be pressed.
What an incredible, incredible turnaround there by Ballistix. Now 7-3 in this game. They don't commit to the keep wall. They go for the objective here instead, and a fair choice. Not that far ahead. We are still early on in this game. Let's go for the top fort instead with this objective, and that will basically remove all forts from the game, meaning the next tower shots will go directly towards keeps. They've been winning the objectives so far. That's the reason they would continue to do so.
That's the bottom keep. That's a good deal there. The Mighty Gust isolation, I don't think that's actually follow-upable for Miracle. Malfurion would like to get in a position where he can use Twilight Dream. Void Prison is available, but there's no laser, no gust, and no avatar, so I think Miracle needs to get the heck out of dodge.
This needs his passive, so he backs off to get that third wind healing, and
this is a great time for Earthquake.
Yeah, definitely could be Sanctification used here. There's the Earthquake, good cleanse on Reset. He has to void defensively again. Disintegrate looking for the kill, and SC gets it. He's got a reset. Nacho Jin, aggressive goes in using Windrunner. This could be a wipe. Nacho Jin and Noblesse on the chase. Sniper, will he get slowed? Laser drill here used to try to stop them. Speed boost, there's the Disintegrate, another reset. Crazy Moving is trying to retreat. Noblesse is on the polymorph, goes down, and it's a wipe.
So well done by Ballistix. They are insane. Swoi casting the polymorph on Malfurion, interrupting the Twilight Dream. We haven't seen a single Twilight Dream this game. Ballistix is too fast at clicking buttons. They've opened up the bottom keep. They've taken it down. They're 3 levels lead, and they're getting in position to paint the entire map blue, Wolf.
This is so powerful. 18 seconds until the boss. Looks like Noblesse is going to go ahead and hearth home here. In fact, perhaps an unusual decision considering it was nearly
like 80% mana.
He just wants to be totally ready for the next fight.
I think they're getting Bruiser. That's probably why. It was just a faster way to travel there. I do agree with you. You don't generally see that. But they want to paint the map blue. They get the double siege camp, the Bruiser, and instead of going for the obvious boss power play, they make Miracle worry about it. Look at Miracle's positioning, Wolf. All 5 were in position for it. And how about just not taking it and just getting even further ahead by increments rather than some kind of risky power play?
Sure, and Miracle doesn't get the soak they desperately need during this phase as well. They're still 2 levels down. Make that 3 here, 2.5. In EXP, down a talent here. Looks like they want to go for Sniper. Crazy moving shows here as well. So risky right now for them to be using this movement pattern because there's no vision right now. They will all escape together here, and they're rotating up. This is so risky by Miracle.
But look at this. Ballistix has just
Rotated them, yes.
Miracle here. They are not giving them the boss fight. They put someone on the place here. Noblesse, he's safe enough to check. Yes, he can do this. And he's scouting for locations. They find I'm sure that Noblesse saw Zeratul there. He's going to move away with the Holy Ground. And at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if Ballistix just uses an Earthquake and disengages. But keep in mind, they do have the talent lead. They're going straight for Tist. That's the Twilight Dream.
Big silence, but look, the Saint comes down here. Tist blows up immediately. The counter sounds here on Darvish with Wailing Arrow. He's not getting out. Jungha gets the kill. Reset's trying to counteract him there. Earthquake, not enough heals here. So far, 2 for 1. Noblesse on the chase here. The Earthquake still alive, still around. And there's the vulnerability on Reset with a 16 for Sylvanas. There's the first reset, and that will be another wipe. Resets galore. The only reset left on the side of Miracle is Reset himself on Zeratul. 4 dead, and they will push the keep.
Ballistix is going ballistic here with a 2-0 soon. Undoubtedly, they're taking all the keeps down. Again, not going for the risky core play here, but they know they take down the final keeps. There's not a single structure save the core, and there's full control here by Ballistix on the double tempo, and that's going lasers straight on the core, Wolf.
Okay, Swain just sitting on it, and there's just nothing Miracle can do. Double shots
Miracle
here.
might as well take the Bruiser camp for all that it matters. They cannot get in position fast enough to stop this.
They might as well try to take a risky
at
fight.
SCSC is going for the core. He knows there are no shields. He's looping around. He hasn't been spotted yet. They're taking the final laser shots. Now SCSC has been revealed.
Okay,
Zeratul,
this is such a power play.
Though?
Such a power play here. They're actually going to try to fight this. SC comes in, using that Calamity damage. He will backdoor the core. No one here. Tyrael goes down. It doesn't matter. Just doing all this extra damage. There's the shield, the diamond skin as well. Here comes Jungha, and that will be a dead core. GG Ballistix with 2-0. Now in the lead on match.